Hey guys, hope everyone is doing well. Since yesterday I missed beta due to a migraine, I thought what a great topic then to give tips on how to deal with migraine. If you don't know what a migraine is, you might have heard of it, and you might think, which is very common, but you might think, oh, it is just a headache. What is the big deal? The big deal is you feel like you can't even get out of bed. You feel like light really bothers you, and basically you feel hungover without even drinking, which is the bad part about it, because you don't even get the benefits of having fun while drinking. And that was what happened to me yesterday. Basically, I just felt really, really tired and groggy and hated the world, and after work, I just went to bed. I meant to take a nap, but of course, with the pain, it was just easier to lie down and fall asleep. And as awful as it was, and believe me, it was pretty awful, but as awful as it was, there are some things that you can do to help make you feel yourself better. Of course, there is really no cure for migraines. There's only remedies, unfortunately, in today's technology. So here are my top 5 favorite migraine remedies. You ready? Here we go. Number 1, and this should come across as no surprise to anyone who knows me at all, but my number 1 tip is coffee. Coffee really helps migraines because caffeine is a known both trigger and remedy of migraines. And you might be wondering, how can it be both a remedy and a cure? Well, a lot of people, when they aren't drinking coffee because they're so addicted to coffee, get migraines. Let's say you're sick and you don't feel like coffee, you might experience a really strong headache from not drinking coffee, or if you're just too busy to drink coffee or whatever. But sometimes you could get migraines even when you are drinking coffee, in which case caffeine often helps. If you're not a fan of coffee, I do recommend soda, although be careful because sugar in the soda will get you to kind of crash, and that's not fun either. My second tip is tea. I highly recommend tea, especially if you don't feel like coffee, and especially peppermint tea, they say, is supposed to be really good for your sinuses. So peppermint tea is awesome. If you have a stomach ache, which often happens when you're in excruciating pain caused from a migraine, it often leads to stomach pain. And I highly recommend tea over coffee because coffee is not going to make that stomach pain feel any better. I'm sorry, but it won't. I recommend lemon ginger tea, which is awesome. It's at work right now, so I can't show you. But it often helps me. And if you're like me and sometimes get stomach aches when you're feeling really stressed out, lemon ginger tea helps for that as well. Third tip is to reduce the lighting if you can. If you are able to work in a darkened room, I highly recommend to do that, and I would not recommend direct sunlight when you're experiencing a migraine. I'm not sure why light triggers the pain, but I noticed that it does. Fourth tip, if you get migraines regularly, like I often do, I would recommend seeing an ear, nose, throat doctor or an ENT because it might be something very severe. I had it so bad that 10 years ago all 8 sinus cavities were completely blocked. They had to perform a surgery on me, and it took me 2 weeks to recover from. I did lose a semester of college as a result, but I always recommend it if you are able to do that. I really only get migraines due to weather now, and sometimes under a lot of dust and stress. I'm sure with the recent move, that is why I had my migraine. And the 5th and probably the best solution is to, unfortunately, just get a nice rest if you're able to. If you're able to take a nap, I would suggest to put aside whatever you had planned. I know it sucks, but put aside whatever you had planned for the night and just go to bed as early as possible. I would suggest to take a really hot shower before you go to bed because steam also really helps to break that up. I would also suggest massaging your forehead and the back of your neck, but on the back of your neck, be careful how much pressure you're applying because you don't want to cause more pain than you're experiencing. But kind of give yourself a little neck massage and by your ears as well, and that really helps also. But if you're like me and often experience migraines or bad headaches or allergies, let me know in the comments and we could suffer together. And yeah, that's how I got inspired for today's topic, because I had a really bad one yesterday. Luckily, I'm feeling better today, which is good because it's just in time for the weekend. So I hope you guys have a great weekend and a migraine-free weekend, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks guys, have a great night. Bye.